Hey, we're back at Indie Reads Aloud, doing another episode with the amazing Bill Shaul. Yay! Felt like Kermit's Frog there for a moment. Okay, so Bill, welcome back. I'm so glad you
Thank you
came
very
back to read
much.
to us
Appreciate
again.
the opportunity.
I love it when people come back over and over again, partly because I get to add more books to my bookshelf, and then also partly because I get to know about you as an author on a little bit more in-depth level. Today's book is Seven Little Raindrops. It's a pre-K early reader. Um, so now it's interesting. This is kind of like the Benjamin Button of writing careers. You've gone backward in time almost chronologically, right? We started with an adult novel, and then we did a middle grade young adult, and now we're doing a children's book. Um,
Yes.
so what was it that made you decide, hey, I'm going to write for everybody rather than sticking with one reading audience?
My passion was to write for middle school and teens and adults, but having four daughters who now have 19 children total,
Holy moly, that's a
my
lot to
wife
keep
and
track of.
I wanted to write a book that was for our grandchildren.
Okay.
So about 10, 12 years ago, before we had 19, we wrote this book. My wife did the illustrations and I wrote the text. And we made five copies and sent them out to the four families, and we kept one. So
Okay.
it was not published. But this past summer, I thought, having published two already, I thought, I need one for the pre-readers, one for the younger kids. So we dusted this off, but I lost the artwork my wife did. So she recreated the artwork from the one copy we had.
Wow.
So it's this.
Kudos to your wife for that one, because that's an
Yes.
undertaking.
Yes. The worst part is she found the artwork after she recreated them in a file.
Oh,
But they look the same. So it is a story by Bill Shaul and illustrated by Peggy Shaul.
okay. And
So
tell me,
that's where it really came from the grandkids.
okay, it's a gift for the family. I like that. Seven Little Raindrops. Can you give me an idea what this story is about, just in a nutshell?
In a large cloud, seven little raindrops are talking amongst themselves of what they want to be when they grow big enough to fall to the earth. And they
Oh,
each
that's
have a
fun.
different aspiration until they get to the seventh one, and you'll have to listen and find out what happens to the seventh one.
Awesome. I'm all in. I love children's books. As I tell everyone almost that I meet, I'm a recovering 6-year-old. I just love it when people read out loud to me, and children's books are some of my favorites, just because they come of such a lovely place of innocence and joy. So I'm looking forward to hearing you read. This is Seven Little Raindrops. When you are ready, Bill, please take the microphone and read aloud.
Seven Little Raindrops, story by Bill Shaw, illustrated by Peggy Shaw. Seven little raindrops. The hopes of seven raindrops for the day they become big raindrops. One day, in a big cloud in the sky, there were seven little raindrops. The raindrops were all talking about what they hoped to be when they became big raindrops and fell to the earth. And the first raindrop said, when I am a big raindrop, I want to be part of a river. Then I want a deer to drink from the river when he is thirsty on a hot day. That's a nice thing to hope for, all the other raindrops said. And the second raindrop said, when I'm a big raindrop, I want to be part of a spring rain that turns the grass green. Then I want a little girl and her dog to play in the grass all day long. That's a nice thing to hope for, all the raindrops said. And the third raindrop said, when I'm a big raindrop, I want to be a snowflake. Then I want a little boy to roll me into a snowman with coal eyes and a carrot nose and a big black hat. That's a nice thing to hope for, all the raindrops said. And the fourth raindrop said, when I'm a big raindrop, I want to be part of the ocean where the fish and the whales and the dolphins swim all day long. That's a nice thing to hope for, all the raindrops said. And the fifth raindrop said, when I'm a big raindrop, I want to fall into an apple orchard and be part of a big, red, juicy apple. That's a nice thing to hope for, all the reindeer said. And the sixth raindrop said, when I'm a big raindrop, I want to help a fireman put out a fire. That's a nice thing to hope for, all the raindrops said. All the raindrops looked at the last little raindrop, and the last raindrop said, I don't know what I hope for when I'm a big raindrop, so I'm going to let God decide for me. And all the raindrops said, that's the very best thing to hope for. Soon, the little raindrops grew into big raindrops and began to fall the earth. Goodbye, they said to one another. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. The end.
That's very fun. A nice ending to a very delightful story. I like the idea of giving children the opportunity to think about their future and what they might grow into. That's
Yes,
that's
yes.
that's a very cool concept. Okay, so you created this wonderful children's book that provides hope and goal setting for young children. You've created a middle grade reader, young adult book that really touches on both the angst and the wonderment of being a child. And you've written a mystery romance um, for the adult mind. So now I'm curious, what comes next?
The middle school novel about a boy who doesn't want to play fullback in the soccer team has a companion book in the works. A seventh grade girl who's going to play on a volleyball team. So
Excellent.
that's in the works. Consuming Revenge, my teen adult mystery romance novel, has a sequel.
Okay.
Consuming Revenge sequels, Consuming Jealousy,
Okay.
perhaps Consuming Greed. And according
Ooh,
to my
I'm
10-year-old
I'm
grandson, Consuming Rage will be the fourth one. So I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah. No,
But
that's good. I like the direction the series is
yeah,
beginning to take. That's a great idea.
there's also a book about a couple of eighth grade girls in the last summer between the seventh, eighth grade year when they don't have to get a job and their antics of that crazy summer. So that's also on
That's
the back
fun.
burner.
That's
Like I think
super fun.
many people that write, I think I get lost in all these ideas and I've got to kind of marshal myself and write one of them, get through it. So I don't know which one's going to come next, but they're all out there in various states of disrepair.
Is there one genre or one trope or one story character out in the world that you really, really would like to aspire to write, but you're not quite ready yet? Like, do you have a brass ring of an idea for a book?
The only one I have out there that is really kind of different or really could be a stretch is I've written a series of short stories. They're crime short stories. They're
Okay,
not necessarily Christian fiction. So it's really kind of a step outside of where my writing's been.
sure.
And I've got a little angst about that because I'm not so sure that the people who have read my books will understand why it's not in the Christian genre.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also trying to make sure it's relevant and conveys a meaning, a message without any sort of religious or Christian overtones that characterize my book. So that'd be a totally um, different type of
Absolutely.
writing. It's one I'm anxious to do, but I'm hesitant at the same time.
No, I understand. Sometimes trying a new direction with your craft it's kind of like walking on ice. You're not sure how solid it is.
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
But that'll be fun. I mean, that's one of the reasons I like writing in multi-genres, and I'm sure you do too, is because you get to stretch all those different writing muscles.
I joined a 24-hour short story contest last weekend when I was
Excellent.
given a theme. I got 24 hours to write an 875 word short story, which is
Wow.
very tight, as you I'm
It's
sure understand.
it's incredibly
And
tight.
there's not time for fluff. There's not time for deep teaching. There's not time for character development. Very much to the point. That was really gentle. I love it. I've done several of them, but that was another avenue outside of 70,000 words when you can just yammer on and on like I am right
Right.
now. But it was challenging to be concise. And
Yeah.
that's another
Yeah.
area which I'm tinkering around in.
We just published an anthology of flash fiction. Each story is 250 words or fewer.
I think heard of that, and I can't believe that.
The book is coming out just in a couple of days. It's really exciting. But that idea of being concise and all of my stories started out at 1,000 words and then I had to tighten them down to 250, and that's a challenge.
Mine started at 930 and I get down to under 875. Get rid of the adjectives and the adverbs.
Exactly. Take out the pronouns where you don't need them. All the dialogue tags come out.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Bill, for coming back on the program. And when you publish your next book, I hope you come back and read for us.
I hope to have one out this coming summer. At least that's the target. At least that's what my fans want, all three of them. So we've got fans out there. So they've been asking about them. So it's what I'm trying to do. Thank you so
Well,
much. I
we'll look
appreciate
for it.
your friendliness and this open forum. You take care. Look forward to seeing you some places this summer. We're out around the events in the
I'll be around hither,
area.
thither, and yon. So we'll run into each other again.
I hope so. You take care.
All right, be well.